Hello, everybody. I'm Debadrita Dey, a member of Manoscope. So we welcome you all to today's special episode. That's a podcast, and our topic for the day is persons with disabilities. We welcome our chief guest, Mr. Pranay Ghosh, who is a practicing advocate before the Calcutta High Court. Over to you, sir. Please give us a brief introduction about yourself, and then we'll be moving towards a topic and our discussion for the day.
Hello, this is Pranay Ghosh. I am an advocate practicing before the Calcutta High Court. Recently, I am a legal advisor of the Manoscope group and I am also a CS. But right now, the thing is that I am not practicing CS. I am practicing before the Calcutta High Court for writ matters and criminal matters and civil matters.
And our topic for the day is persons with disabilities. So we will be in conversation with each other. So firstly, sir, I would like to ask you, what are the current legislations regarding persons with disabilities? If you could enlighten us with that.
Presently, when we start with the word rights with person with disabilities, rights of person with disabilities, that point we usually come with the legislation called Right of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016.
Yeah.
Now,
correct.
this act is very important in India because previously we have an act which is called Right of Persons with Disabilities Act 1995.
All right.
And later on, by the ratification of an UNCPRD, that is United Nations Convention on Rights of Persons with Disabilities, India signed in the year of 2007. And after that, what happened is that India came up with this legislation which is called Right of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016. The other thing is that with this act, India included 21 more disabilities. Previously, we had only 7 disabilities. But after that, what happened is, presently we have 21. But this 21 is very distinctive. Why I'm saying this? Because this 21 disabilities, which I am actually referring right now, it includes the acid victim survivors. Okay.
All right.
These acid victim survivors are those persons who are usually identified themselves presently as disabilities or disabled persons. Because when a person is attacked by acid, at that point of time, the figure of their face or any part of their body is disfigured.
Yeah.
And mainly for that reason, society do not take them as a normal person. So when society do not take them as normal person, it usually they identify themselves as a distinct person from a normal person.
Correct.
But this particular act gives them the power, gives them the right of a differently able person. And mainly for that reason, they presently in this particular 21 disabilities.
Okay.
Not only that, we have Parkinson's disabilities, which is
Parkinson's.
Yes, Parkinson's disabilities. And the most important, which is the Monoscope's main intention, I think, is the mental illness and mental health. And this mental illness, I think, is the most distinctive and the featured one disability which has been introduced by this government.
That is
But
really
the thing
great.
is that this thing, the presently the mental illness, all these things is coming with a big package. Because the thing is that a person who is under stress cannot identify himself as a disabled person
No.
until and unless the person is coming with a benchmark disability.
Okay.
So right now the thing is that there are several type of disabilities are there. Person with
I just
disability.
want to interrupt you. What do you mean by the term benchmark disability?
Yes, this benchmark disability is something which is a benchmark set by the particular legislation. Okay. In this particular legislation, when we go through, we find that particular word benchmark, which includes 40% of personal disability.
All right.
Okay, the 40% of person's disability, that means a person who has more than 40%. A person who is under that will be coming under the definition of person with disabilities.
Okay.
So mainly for that reason, we can find two things: person with disabilities and persons with benchmark disability.
All right. Correct. So next, I would like to come up with the main implementation of this act. Like how are we benefited? How are the persons with disabilities benefited through this act?
Now, if we say about the beneficial part, we must know the very objective of this part.
Okay.
Act. Now, the objective part is something which is very different, because the objective of this act is to include the persons with disabilities with the mainstream persons.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Now, the thing is that the impact one. Now, the objective and impact, I think it's a very different word. And in reality also we can find this far more distant persons. The thing is that the first one, if we say the objective is in its place. But when you say about the impact, no, the impact is somehow distorted till
Yeah,
date.
correct,
Okay.
correct.
And the very reason is the infrastructure, technology, and the very economical condition of our country. Recently, India ranked 48. Okay. Rank 48 means the score is 48. Okay.
Okay.
And the very ranking out of 100 is 45 in the DARE index. Now, what is DARE index? It's a very important thing also. DARE index is the type of index where the digital accessibility and the very education purpose and the accessibility purpose usually measured internationally. Okay. So out of the 100 countries, India ranked 45. It's a very notable one. In 2020, the very rank came. And from that point, we can say India is not in a bad position right now, because 45th means India ranked good in the social thing also. Okay.
Alright.
And the South Asian countries, India ranked number one. Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Yes, exactly.
And also, like, going into the very mainstream, like, suppose if I see anybody with a disability, the first thing, like, I have a few friends who are a little bit disabled. They have some problem, physical disability, in the sense they have some problem with their own hands and all. So like, they always think that will we be acceptable to, will we be acceptable in any corporate life, or if we apply for a job, will, I mean, even after the interview, even if we are capable, even if we have the knowledge of that particular job, will we be acceptable? So how is the law helping over here?
So this is a very good question, I think, because this particular legislation came up with the reservation system. Okay. I think you have seen also in the government notifications, we have 21% reservation for the OBC, 7% for the ST, and the other 15% for the SCs. And as well as we have, I think you have seen the total 5% of reservation in education sector for the PWDs. Now this 5% is a very notable reservation, because if a person is coming from a disability part or disability society, at that point of time, the thing is, he usually or she usually thinks that if I am going to compete with them, I am not be able to compete with a normal person.
Definitely.
Okay. And maybe for that reason, government thought of it. Okay. So government introduced this 5% reservation in the education sector. Now, what you have said, for the public sector and the private sector also, there is another reservation that government introduced. That is total percentage is 3%, and it has been raised to 4% right now. The thing is that for the particular disability, government introduced 1% reservation in the public sector. Okay. And total 3% for the total one. That means the person who is coming from a person with disability, okay, PWD category, that time he or she will get total 3%. And a person who is coming from blindness, in that category, she will or he will get total 1% reservation. So it will somehow creating the equity part. Somehow we are against the reservation system, but the very purpose of the reservation is not to give you a chance. It also creates an economic equity in the society.
Definitely, definitely.
Okay, a person who has right now 100 rupees in his pocket, a person who is coming, who has $1 million in his pocket, they must be kept in such a situation by that they can compete in a same line. And mainly for that reason, the very purpose of reservation has been introduced in our Indian Constitution.
Okay, sir. And do you think like we should go on for more campaigns should be organized, educating the people about the implications of this act? Because I feel that there are many people who are disabled. Maybe they are knowledgeable, but the fact is like they are not aware that such an act exists, which can help them to pursue their future prospects. So, do you think some it should be implemented in schools, among the curriculum of the school and in the syllabus, or we should organize more campaigns and workshops to enlighten people about this? What is your view on this?
First of all, in the very legislation, government had introduced a very important thing, which is called commissioners, state commissioners and the state district commissioners. The very reason to introduce these commissioners is to aware the public. Okay,
Okay.
and to give them the rights of person with disabilities. Now, they usually hold different type of seminars and workshops, okay, to avoid the general public. But the very thing is that we must understand that only by the government initiatives we cannot actually think that all the public can actually aware of the right. So mainly for that reason, the NGOs must come up with this awareness. Okay, and yes, we have different type of NGOs right now. Amnesty International, I think you have heard the NGO. They are also working on that, and United Nations also is working on that particular awareness program. So mainly for that reason, the private sector must come up with those things also.
Definitely, I do think so. Like, in corporate offices, there should be some workshops, some seminars on this, so that the common public may be aware. Because suppose if I am working in a corporate sector and I am attending such a seminar of 1 hour or maybe whatever, so I can go and say a few friends or few people whom I know, see, like I have witnessed such a thing. So maybe if some acquaintances who are following this can get to know about this, right?
Yes, exactly. Right now, the thing is that in this the legislation, what you have said right now, the government has introduced another thing, which is called incentive part for the private sector.
Okay,
Okay. So
that's
recently there is
interesting.
one cohort. Recently there is one cohort. Okay. With the Accenture and other MNCs.
Okay.
Other thing is that in that cohort, what you have seen is that the particular MNCs are coming up with a new scheme, coming up with a new system where the private sector workers are coming and they can have the rights of the person with disabilities. Okay, PWD rights. Now this PWD is coming with some of the accessibility things. Okay, right, the ramp thing and other things also. And mainly for that reason, these private sectors are trying to get into that incentive part, because government is giving the incentives to the private sectors. Those are coming with those rights.
Great. That is really a great move by the government, I must say. So, sir, as you are an advocate, you are practicing before the High Court for a long time now. So, definitely you must be dealing with such cases I mean, people might have been denied of some office work, or some maybe they are denied to enter into any school or something because of being disabled. uh, so how did you handle such cases, and how was the outcome about it?
Thing is that if you say about this thing, I must say that I have several clients. Okay,
All right.
those who are with the blindness thing and other hearing problems, and mainly for that reason, we have to make them feel comfortable with us. When a client usually comes before an advocate, that time they should not feel that they are different persons. Okay, so I'm experiencing. I am saying one experience of mine where I have seen a person came up with some problems before me, and at that point of time, I have to learn some of the languages to converse with this person. Right now, thing is that in India, the courts are not well equipped
Yeah, correct.
with the RAM things, with the particular persons with disabilities rights and all those things. But recently in Rajasthan, in West Bengal also, I have seen some of the incidents where judge came in front of the person who is sitting in a wheelchair. Okay, and from him he usually takes the input.
Okay,
Okay,
that is so
and
empathetic.
exactly,
That's really
he
empathetic.
is taking the input from him and he is going to his chair and giving the judgment. Recently in Rajasthan, it actually happened where a judge came downstairs and conversed with the particular person, and after that he has taken some of the inputs from him and he went to his chair and gave the
Verdict.
particular verdict. Okay,
That is
so this
really great
thing
of the
must
judiciary, I
happen.
must say.
Yes, exactly. This
Great
thing
move
must
by the
happen.
judiciary, yes. So that that person feels that they are included among the common strata of the
Yes,
society.
exactly.
That is it. Like, and if you would like to add up anything that you want to educate the common mass about this particular act.
Yes, exactly. I must say, if a person is with the disability, they must read this particular right of person with disabilities, and a person who
The awareness should be first there.
awareness should be there. And not only that, they must go with any problem to the directly to the district commissioners. Okay, the district commissioners are very important persons who are interested with the rights of the person with disabilities. And if any person
Is
who
denied.
denied of any particular right, they must go directly to the commissioner and complain against that particular thing, and they will be resorted. Not only that, I must say one thing also. there is one limited guardianship concept in this particular legislation.
What is that, sir?
Limited guardianship concept is that if a person is unable to decide on a particular matter, they can take a guardian for the particular matter.
All right.
And he or she will be the guardian for that particular reason, for that particular matter. And that will be decided by the district judge himself. Okay.
Alright.
So it's a very important thing that has been introduced in this act.
That was really great. It was really great talking to you,
Thank
sir. I think this is a very prominent concept right now, and it is really important that the common mass gets to know about it. I think it was a very informative session. So thank you.
Thanks a lot. Okay. Nice to meet you.
And we look forward to many other more podcasts in the near future. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.